Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's
let
gonna
me get
swing
this
on
right.
Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
I don't know, but basically we rode up to the Viking game last year, got sick.
I tell you, next year he's going to ask for the highest contract in the NFL. I'm a nut, right?
I mean, like, Matt, were you made fun of?
Yeah, but
Really
Matt's cool now, though.
He's
That's
cool
the
now.
thing.
You said in high school.
Well, yeah, I don't
if
know.
I went fencing to win a gold medal, it would
But
be
there's
cool.
a difference between dressing up like a knight in shining armor and going poke, poke versus like sweep, 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 sweep. I don't know.
Lovely sound effects.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
I don't want to offend our Olympic gold medalist teammate, Matt Hamilton, who's not here. And he's missing out today because we're going to have, this is pretty big, shout out to Ryan Wollersheim for establishing a great relationship with the good folks over at Comedy Club on State. And we're going to have Hannibal Buress in studio today in about 15 minutes. And why are we having him in studio today, Ryan? Please tell us.
Because he is doing a pop-up show at Comedy on State tonight. He works down and is living in the Chicago area, but he loves Comedy on State. We love Comedy on State. They love us. They want to see if he can come on the show to promote it. And, hey, we're going to have him come on to talk about why Caleb Williams won't quite live up to Jordan Love's legacy.
Oh, I don't think that'll be the case. But I want to get back to Matt Hamilton. I think, and I sent everyone in the group a Twitter video. Did anyone watch it?
I'm so bad about watching these
But this was
videos.
to the show one. It was about women's rugby, the 7-on-7 team. One, Ryan,
see.
maybe if while I'm talking here, can we get the play-by-play call? Because I sent you the video. You should be able to, I mean, it was on NBC. I don't think you'll have to clear it.
That video you sent me was not in English.
It was not?
Did you not watch it?
I watched it. I was watching it with the sound off. Then see if you can find one in English.
I do that all the time. Is that weird? Like, I don't watch videos with sound.
I honestly, I could care less about play-by-play, but in this specific case, since we're on the radio, I thought it would work.
Would you want to play the whatever language it was?
Sure. Honestly, it will come across.
Okay.
It will come across in it. And I will tell you exactly. You know what? Give me the video. I'll give the play-by-play. If you
Please
can bring
do.
up that clip and pop it on there because you work your magic, we'll play the whatever language that is in play-by-play, and I will just kind of give little cliff notes as to what's happening. But Team USA has never won a gold medal in women's rugby. And or any medal, I'm sorry, not a gold medal, never won a medal at all. And they were down and out, essentially cooked. And what happened in this play is the equivalent of someone returning like an interception 99 yards or an opening kickoff 99 yards for the kickoff, 99 yards for a touchdown to win the game with no time left. That is the equivalent of what they did. And they have kind of caught the hearts. Jason Kelsey is now an unofficial brand ambassador for the women's rugby team. What's wrong?
Can he just stay out of something? Like, we don't need him.
He works at NBC. They brought him to the Olympics. Wait,
Jason or Travis?
Jason.
Oh, Jason. Okay, sorry. I thought you said Travis, and
You're
I was just
such
like,
a hater. Jason
just
Kelsey
stick to
works.
training camp.
He is. He has gone media dark. He is sticking to
Wait,
training.
Jason Kelsey. I thought he was working with ESPN. How does that work with NBC?
Oh, you're right. But NBC is asking him to come out. Like, he's out there doing stuff around the Olympics.
Okay,
so, like,
he's fine.
Yeah, he's out there as an ambassador for sports.
Just
right
there can
now.
be something that doesn't
And
need
Kylie
the Kelsey fingers on. You know what I mean?
Okay, so anyways, the women's rugby team specifically asked Jason Kelsey to
Interesting.
give his endorsement to them because they like them, unlike your hatred of the Kelsey family for no good reason.
No, I don't have any good reason. You're right. It's just their
Kylie
name's
Kelsey's
annoying.
just like a strong spokeswoman for like loving your body and being fit.
I forgot
and being
about
a
that
great
video.
Mom.
I did like that video you sent me.
She's got a whole campaign about eating right and working out and loving yourself and being a good parent. And then Jason Kelsey out there being a good big brother, being a good parent. And he's out there supporting the women's rugby team, and you're all mad about it. I don't understand why.
We don't know these people. I don't know why people are obsessed with.
We don't know it. You don't know Jordan Love. You're a fan of Jordan Love, right?
I'm a fan of his football.
Well, that's how it started with Jason Kelsey with football. There are plenty of, like, that's sport. That's life. sports.
Yeah.
Like there are
Okay.
Matt Hamilton met Aaron Rodgers for 25 minutes, and he stands for Aaron Rodgers forever. Like that's just life.
Okay, that's
That's
his
life,
choice.
sports. That's
But
how
it
it
is.
is, Molly.
But like, why are you surprised? There's no celebrity. You're like, I think that's great. None.
I'm trying to think. I just no. I don't even want to get into like the whole Kelsey thing. I was just saying like another thing that the Kelseys are touching. That's great. They're having their
But they
moment.
were
They're having their thing.
specifically-
No, that's cool. That
They
I
were
didn't.
uplifting the moment of
I didn't
rugby.
know the story behind
Yeah.
Jason Kelsey,
Yes.
and I don't. It's not even Jason that I have a problem with because like I don't even have a problem with him. It's just to me, I'm like Travis Kelsey. He kind of just seems
Seems what?
douchey. Meh.
Eh, I don't think so.
But like, what specifically?
What are you saying? You don't think
Just his
so? You're not
personality.
into him.
Can
Like,
I
did you guys
share-
ever watch
there was a-
Catching Kelsey?
That was so long ago.
So what?
There literally
And
is a
even just
video-
like his person, I don't know. Just
There
I
was-
don't like his personality.
there was literally
hate
a-
on me.
there
You
was-
like his personality? I don't like his personality.
There was literally a video 2 days ago from a member of the Kansas City Chiefs, a rookie, like a 6th-round pick, who said that he went into the lunchroom. It was first day of camp. He didn't know anyone there. So he said, all right, I'm just going to go eat by myself. I'll make friends as it goes along.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I sit down and start eating. Someone sits down next to me and says, what's up, big dog? You good? And it was Travis Kelsey.
It's cool.
Who went out
You're
of his
a
way.
veteran. Yeah.
But, like, he's a good guy. Like, I don't understand the douchey
I'm not
part of it.
saying he's
you,
a
you
bad
call him
guy.
a douche, that means he's a bad guy,
No,
right?
it doesn't. Just means your personality is like meh to me.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean bad guy. It just means like you're not somebody you'd want to
I
be
can have
around.
my own douchey moments. Doesn't mean I'm a crummy person.
Well, I hear like douche. I
I
hear
think
like
Jim is
jerk.
triggered.
I
Well,
think
no.
so.
I
think Jim's very triggered.
Kelsey
I-
Stan.
Well-
I'm not saying he's a bad guy. He probably
Chiefs
donates
win.
a lot. He probably is a good teammate. He's all the things. Just
Well,
the
if you're
things
caught
that
up-
I've seen
if
about
you're-
him, I'm just like meh.
If
Not
you're
really my
saying-
cup of tea.
If you're saying you think he's douchey because you don't like his personality, that's fine. I take douchey as like you think he's a bad person.
No, I don't think
I would take
don't,
umbrage with.
Again, I don't
Yeah.
know them to think that they're either a good person or a bad person.
Right, but
like,
all
I
evidence.
don't know.
Well, right now, but all evidence would still lean towards like they're leaning.
They're fan
nobody's
favorites.
perfect. They're nobody's perfect, but they do a lot of good things for a lot of people.
I
And
don't
you,
follow
and you know
them
what
enough
I'll
to know
say?
what they do.
Travis Kelsey, or Jason Kelsey, excuse me, I'm getting all the Kelseys confused. As much as he wants to lift up U.S. women's rugby, NBC does not want us to because that video that Jim sent me has
Yeah.
already been taken down for
What?
copyright.
Really?
All right,
Yes.
that is such bad marketing by NBC. So
I'm
here's
pulling
what
it up.
here's what I will tell you is
Oh, wow.
basically, and I'm trying to put it together here, but Team USA Rugby, the women's team, was down, and they basically, I'm going to put this in football terms, needed a touchdown to win the game. They get the kickoff.
Are they playing for like a specific medal, or is this to just like advance?
Yes, no, this is for if they don't win, they get no medal. So
Okay.
it's like they're in the like Matt Hamilton, how his team finished fourth, they would have finished fourth, the rugby team, if they didn't win this match.
'Kay.
They're down to their last play essentially. It's and again I'm describing this in football terms, not in rugby terms. It's kicked off to them, and it is caught like obviously like at their own goal line. They are moving side to side, not moving forward. And they get kind of pinned down. Their star, Alana Marr, kind of pitches it back to one of her teammates as she goes down, and then her teammate throws it far off to the right. And the woman, and I'm sorry I don't know her name. Maybe Ryan can pull up the name of the person who made the deep run. But she catches the pass, puts her head down, and it was just poor tackling. Like she just ran as hard as she could, and I felt bad for the Australian team. They all just didn't bring her down. Like they wrapped her up, but they didn't pull her to the ground, and she burst through. There's nobody.
Really?
I don't know how long the rugby field is. We'll just pretend it's 100 yards. She sprinted 100 yards to go win bronze, the first medal ever for the women's rugby team. And she dives into the end zone, and it is such like if you like the Olympics, and this is it. It is the joy of like a bronze medal is everything to them because they've never won anything and they're underdogs. And then the agony defeat. You see the entire Australian team, red faced, tears, like almost wanted to throw up because like they had
Right.
it, and they let it
That's
literally
cool.
let it slip through their fingers as
It's a moment that, Alex Cedric will never forget.
yes, Alex Cedric makes the big run, scores the game winning points, and Team USA gets bronze. It's just such a cool moment. And then back to Elena Marr, who is a stand for Kelsey. She was she was trying to get him to pump up the team. He's been going to all these matches, but she's been kind of a big proponent of body positivity for women, especially athletic women. And she's been very forefront on that and very vulnerable about it. And so she's been a star for that aspect of it. But you watch her play,
She's insane.
She is they were showing videos of her to like Derrick Henry on the Ravens now, and he's like, oh, she's a beast. Like, she's okay. Stiff arming people on the ground. She is plowing people over. She like could play running back. Could be the second running back for the Packers.
How'd they show a video of her to Derrick Henry? The videos are all gone. They've all been taken down. How is this
not
possible?
This specific video, so it would have been maybe a different one because she's very popular on social media, and I think they kind of showed some of her highlights from that. But also, what are you doing, NBC? Like, why would you take down? This is like Major League Baseball, and I think they've gotten better at it, but like Major League Baseball has this stupid problem of like, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to paywall everything and make it a real pain in the ass to see highlights and to make it accessible for our fans because that's what people want. What people really want is to make it as least accessible as possible. So good job, NBC. Really screwing over the fans who want to hear the highlight, watch the highlight. Nah, we're going to screw them over because bleep them, that's why, as Dave Chappelle would say in the Chappelle Show. Bleep them, that's why.
Tim in Oregon is a big rugby fan. He says the U.S. women's rugby team played like the Eagles, very tough and physical. If you don't like rugby, don't watch the New Zealand team. They are brutal and fast. Sorry, Aussies, we beat you.
Yeah, I was. Here's a few things. We talked yesterday about sports I could not do rugby.
Oh, no.
I couldn't do women's rugby. I'll be fully honest. They would kick my ass. Like, I would be, everything about me would be broken.
It's just crazy. I think I said it. I don't know if I was just in here with you last week, Prime, or what. I don't know. But I was just like watching. It's crazy that they don't have any pads. They don't have helmets. Like, they don't have anything. But they're basically playing football.
And I love how Matt, and this is the dumb argument for UFC that I always, like, which again is human cockfighting, and I'm not into it. But, like, they're like, oh, well, it's better than boxing because it's not concussions. Okay, yeah, but, like.
There's definitely concussions in UFC.
Like, well,
what?
It's more of, like, you can't. With like you get the repetitive sort of like concussions, and it's more of like CTE because you're getting hit. Your face doesn't burst open, so you think you're healthier than you are when you box. Is much likely. Obviously, in UFC, the idea is that like, hey, if you're getting punched in the face and you're bleeding all over the place, that's an indication you shouldn't. Like that's the argument around it of like, oh, it's better for you because you don't have a helmet on, so you don't think you can throw your body around everywhere, or you can just take hits after hits. Same idea for football, where people are like, oh, football would be safer if we just took off their pads. No. Football! No, it would not. This does not look safe. Football is for athletes. Rugby is for insane lunatics who happen to be athletic. Like, they're incredibly athletic, but they're closer to the Ryan Woldersheim skew of humanity than the rest of us.
I'm a nut.
Really?
Yeah.
You had to just throw your producer under the bus after all the good work I've done for you today?
Yeah, but you could get the highlights from me.
Oh, it's not my fault. It's NBC's fault. By the way, if you want to rewatch the game, it is currently replaying on USA Network.
That's probably why they took it off social.
Yes.
What a bunch of dorks. We'll see if we'll get it on the TVs here. I don't know how to work the TVs, Molly, so you're going to have to do that. I only know how to use, like, real services like Hulu or Apple or YouTube, none of this cable box stuff, so you'll have to help me out with that. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We're going to get Hannibal Buress during the next segment here. I want to get the break early, so hopefully we'll have a chance where he's not waiting on us. So I'm very excited to have him in the studio. Again, he is performing a pop-up show at Comedy on State tonight, so make sure to go look and get some tickets for that. We're very excited to be joined by Hannibal. I want to tell you about Canopy Wealth Management's balanced approach and how it helps you guide through a complex and ever-changing landscape, creating a personalized wealth management experience throughout your family financial planning journey. They will serve as your partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects and offer their expertise to help you achieve your goals with confidence. When you work with Canopy, care, competence, and clarity is not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started on your financial journey today. That's canopy-wealth.com. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Ryan is absolutely right. I am savage.
We're learning a lot about each other. This is good to know. This is good stuff to know.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
You're probably being overwhelmed with information about semaglutide, the game-changing FDA-approved weight loss treatment. Jim Rutledge here. I was like you. I didn't know what it was until I saw Dr. Nessa Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. He can walk you through the benefits. He can tell you if it's right for you, and then you could come up with a plan to change your life with a workout plan and semaglutide. With that plan, I dropped 20% body fat to 10% body fat, and I dropped over 20 pounds of fat and kept my muscle. You can do the same thing. Go see Dr. Nessa Rodriguez at Carbon World Health.
Matt Hamilton here for Leinekugels, the craft beer that showcases a commitment to tradition and quality, founded in 1867 in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. No matter where I'm at, on the ice, on my boat, or if I'm just watching the big game, I always have a Leine's in my hand. Whether it's the refreshing summer shandy, the smooth honey vice, or my personal favorite, the juicy peach, there's a delicious flavor for every moment. Pick it up wherever you get delicious beer, but remember, you gotta be 21 years or older to enjoy.
Meet Cheryl.
Hey.
She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Forward Madison FC's professional soccer season is underway, and they want you to pack out Breeze Stevens Field. Need a night out with the whole family? Try the Forward Madison Family Special presented by MG&E. Score a ticket to the match, a meal, and an FMFC scarf, all for just $25 per person. Visit forwardmadisonfc.com to purchase your tickets today. That's forwardmadisonfc.com. Forward Madison, fun for all.
Sizzling summer deals are happening all month long at Metro Kia of Madison. Check out this scorching deal. The 2024 Kia Seltos is available with 3.9% APR financing for 48 months. $22.53 per 1,000 borrowed. SUV is more your style? The 2024 Kia Sportage is available at 1.9% APR for 48 months. $21.65 per 1,000 borrowed. Browse their inventory at MetroKiaMadison.com and hurry in for sizzling summer deals.
Make a splash this summer at Prairie Athletic Club. Hi, this is Sarah Tauscher, inviting you to dive into excitement at Dolphins Cove Outdoor Water Park. Dolphins Cove features thrilling slides, relaxation, and entertainment for the whole family. Bring your group and enjoy the outdoor water park, tiki bar, and plenty of deck space. It's the perfect gathering place for all of your celebrations. From birthdays to corporate events, the pack has you covered. Visit prairieathletic.com to learn more today. That's prairieathletic.com. Prairie Athletic Club, family fun community.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Talking some Olympic rugby. You can get into the show 844-770-3776. Now that rugby's done, I don't know what I'm going to turn my attention to. Shout out to the women's gymnastics team. They won gold. A little redemption tour for them.
So when is the Olympics over? Because
this is the whole problem I have with the Olympics. I don't know when important things are happening. I don't know how to watch them.
Same.
Apparently, if I miss them, they're pulled immediately off social media.
They're scrubbed.
And I can't get good highlights because NBC, bogarts the highlights. But, like, who goes to NBC to watch highlights? Just give it to ESPN so, like, regular sports fans can see it and appreciate it instead of just burying it on whatever dumb app or Peacock or whatever it is you got going on. So that's another part of it. So,
Right.
like, the Olympic coverage is, like, it seems to go out of its way to, like, like an alternative band. Like, either you have to know who we are and like us, or you don't get to follow us, man. And, like, that's how the Olympics are. It's like, either you have to get up at, like, 5 in the morning to watch something on some MSNBC Channel 6, or you can't watch it at all, man. Like, you're not even a real fan.
See
like,
I don't know. See, it's just weird to me because you were just talking about the women's rugby team.
Yep.
They won the bronze. So they're done.
Yep.
They're done in the Olympics.
Yep.
But then, like, what about all the other things? I know swimming's going on. Gymnastics is going on. But you just said somebody won gold. Was it the U.S. in gymnastics won gold?
The team won gold. I think the players. So that gave Simone Biles the most amount of gold medals of any women's gymnast of all time.
Interesting. Yeah,
But I think
just
she
can't
still
keep
has
up.
individuals to compete in.
Yeah, I just can't keep up. There's too much, like you just said. There's way too much.
Absolutely. And also the timing of it.
Yes.
I just don't know when things are happening. So, like, that's the other tricky part for the Olympics here. Ryan, we have Hannibal here. Do we want to bring him in right away?
Well, we need time to set him up before then. So why don't we go through to a break quickly,
All right.
and
So
then we'll have Hannibal on
if
for
you
an
are just
extended
tuning
appearance.
in, we're going to have Hannibal Buress in studio. He's going to be on next break. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, so stay through, and we'll hear from Hannibal. We're presented by Coors Light.
ESPN Madison loves Molly Brown.
Spit the bit?
I don't know.
That's a horse term.
Oh, okay. There's some things that I'm learning. I don't know if I'm allowed to say on the air.
Jim, Matt, and Molly. Weekdays 4 to 6 on 100.5 ESPN.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
The ESPN Madison Open, presented by Coors Light, is back. On Monday, August 5th, the ESPN Madison crew is packing their bags and teeing off at Bishop's Bay Country Club for a day on the links. The ESPN Madison Open is benefiting Miracle League of Dane County and is brought to you by Bishop's Bay Country Club, Coors Light, Zimbrick Honda, Sunday Paper, Clear Vision Pro Wash, and Bruner Realty. Thank you for making a difference in our community.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly opened Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, home of the Big Win and Madison Casino Guru, is transforming guests into winners. Making an ordinary day into a big win day is easy with a 95% average payout. And with over 140 daily jackpots, the number of people winning has never been bigger. So what are you waiting for? Escape to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison for your next big win.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Bigfoot, Bigfoot, get out the way. I'ma show y'all how to move this, yeah. I'ma show y'all how to move like this. I'ma show y'all how to move, hey, whoop. Little foot,
Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush Coors Light.
Matt Hamilton, our Olympic gold medalist, not competing in the Summer Olympics. He is a curler, but apparently he's still taking a few days off. Just because he's up north, I'm sure he's going to be bummed he's missing out on our guest who's in studio, Hannibal Buress, in studio because you were in Appleton last night. Now you're in Madison tonight for a pop-up show at Comedy on State.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, man.
Tell us, I mean, you've been to Madison a few times, so you must like the Comedy on State crew, like the vibe. What brings you back?
Yeah, man, the room is well designed. Sounds good in there. The crowds are great. Staff is good. The staff is cool, and the green room is nice. They got good snacks up there. They got a pop shot up there, pool table, good Bluetooth speaker, washer dryer. It's a good green room for comedy, because sometimes comedy clubs just sit in there and wait for your show and you just kind of in a spot. But this is a nice space to stretch out, and it's comfortable. And really, though, on top, even without that, the room itself, the feel of doing a show, I really have, when I've done a place, I don't come back 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
But I say, I'm going to add a show. I only did 3 the last time. I think I'm good for a few more tickets in Madison. Let me pop back and have fun, yeah.
So you're originally from Chicago.
From Chicago originally, yes.
How do you feel about the state of Wisconsin?
How do I feel about the state itself? In what way?
The places, the people here.
The
fans of sports here.
Because Wisconsinites have an inferiority complex against Chicago, so now
Absolutely.
they want you to basically verify it.
Yeah, because a lot of family moved to Milwaukee. So, I spent time in Milwaukee as a kid, and even that is that trash talking about sports, and I got to hear it a lot now that the Bucks are way better than the Bulls. There's a lot of contention on that. But as far as just a place that it's the first place that I could really perform in a lot without having to worry about travel costs, because it's an hour and a half away, so you can just come right back home if you don't need to stay. So I would do gigs at this place. JD's Comedy Cafe was one of the first clubs I played regularly in Milwaukee. It's an arcade bar now at that spot, but it used to be a comedy club. And so, you could take gigs that only paid $20 or something just because you could go right back home. So it's a special spot in that, it's almost like, a second home creatively as a working comedian, and got family up there, and so I like performing up here. The shows usually go really well.
See, and I think they're receptive. So are you a Bears fan? I'm a Chicago Bears fan. My whole family's from like the Glendale, Illinois area. So like I've been raised as a Chicago Bears fan, Bulls fan, Cubs fan. So are you is it all Chicago fandom for you, or where does it fall?
I lightly follow what the Bears are doing, but I'm not emotionally invested. If I'll bandwagon if they get second round of playoffs,
then you'll be decked
I'll bandwagon.
out.
But I know that the quarterback is great. They got there's a lot of optimism for the team and the core right now. But I'm not all in it. I'm not looking at who they got as a safety, and I don't know all the intricacies like that. Basketball, I follow pretty heavily. Baseball, it's so many games. I kind of, I know what's going on a little bit. I had action on some game I was watching when I was in Atlantic City, and so I hadn't watched the full game live, and then I didn't know about the new extra inning rule. And so I was sort of watching on the screen, and then I would walk off. I can't watch this anymore. And I go look on my phone, looking at just tracking it. And I say, why do they keep on giving up doubles? They keep on giving up doubles in the extra innings. What it is, the pitching is terrible. And then I found out that they've changed the rules to where in the extra innings they start with a person on second base. So that was cool to know that baseball is willing to change and add some stuff to it. But for a while, if you didn't know, it was so confusing. What the hell is going on? They gave up a double. They gave up a double. Everybody giving up doubles. So yeah, but I'm basketball fan mostly. I might try to go over to Paris and see Team USA over there, man, and see that, that could be cool. And I'm a bowler, man.
Bowler?
Yeah, I'm an amateur bowler.
What's your average score then?
It's light. I like 140-ish, 145 or something like that. I'm inconsistent.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
I'm inconsistent. I'm a couple tweaks away I never crossed my high is 197. So I'm like a couple tweaks away from really getting in that 200 range. I'm the type I might start out with 3 strikes and then get really hyped thinking this is the game right here, this is it. And then throw a gutter ball, man. It's stuff like you gotta just keep it focused. You just gotta stay in the pocket and just really do it. And it's easy to kind of lose that and get overexcited in bowling and just have, a string of terrible throws.
So you saying you might be going to Paris for the Olympics?
Yeah,
to go watch
I'm go out there.
What's your favorite Olympic sport to watch?
A favorite other one? Let me see. I mean, track and field, that seems like it'd be dope to watch live. Very straightforward. Boom.
Yep.
10 seconds. Yep. Not cycling. I don't want to see cycling. Say, why you want to ride a bike for that long? What are you trying to prove? You want to go across countries and all that? So, yeah, I think that. Yeah, some of the other track stuff.
This is a winter sport, but how do you feel about curling?
It looks skillful. But you know what? It's a lot of stuff that you have to, that you can judge on TV, but sometimes seeing it live is a completely different experience. A lot of things live, with the energy around it, and you seeing folks, and you're able to, So curling, as far as TV, is a curiosity, an oddity. You say, what are they doing? It just looks like they're sweeping. I'm sure there's skill to it. But also, I've watched marble races before. You know what I mean? And the production was just great, and the announcing and the camera work, and they built the story. Story is important. Yeah. Also, that's part of it too. From what I've seen in curling, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, they don't really delve too much into the other part of it. Is there stories and great rivalries? Maybe why does the curling? What's the origin of it? You said y'all closed.
So Matt Hamilton, he was part of the 2016 team that won gold. They all looked like the love for them was that they all looked like just dads who like wandered away on the weekend. He had the mustache he was famous for, kind of looked like a Super Mario Brother vibe. The origins of it, and I only half listened. Essentially in the state of Wisconsin, and for most, it's been kind of like, it's almost like bowling. Like people go, you can curl, you have curling leagues, you curl with your buddies, you drink some Coors Light, and you have a good time. Yeah. But it has been a sport, I think it's in Ireland is like the origin of it, and it's just been like it's like a shuffleboard on ice. It's a skill sport. Yeah. Matt
Matt
Cox,
more than me. I don't know.
I hope I'm doing it right for Matt, just so he doesn't get mad at me when he returns. But like, it is one of those things where like you see it, and you're like, I could do that. And then you try it, and you're like, I can't do this at all. Right. Like you're going to pull a hamstring trying to do the stretch, or you're going to get your shoulder worn out really quick. But it is one of those things where that's what I like about the Olympics. There's certain sports like, I think I might be able to do that. Like, you watch like canoeing, and you're like, I think I could, if I had started younger, I could have been an Olympic canoeer or curler. Like there's some of those sports.
It's some of the stuff, it's just about when you start. It's not about if, it's about when. Yeah. And if, you can't get into it's a lot of stuff you can't get great at.
Yeah, you can't watch the USA Olympic team and be like, I could have done that. No.
No. But archery, maybe.
Right.
If you really lock in archery, you can become an elite archer at if you just only focus for 10 years, boom.
Do you think you could do that for bowling if you locked in? Like if you just said, you know what, I'm putting comedy aside, I am going on the professional bowling circuit, and I don't think it's an Olympic sport. Who knows, it might be. But could you lock in and do it professionally?
I like and get to be one of the people that's throwing 300s all the time. It would be tough. I could be a above 200 average, but I know that when they're bowling pro, it gets way more nuanced with they got the oil patterns and all this stuff, which I didn't know about that until I really started getting into. I've done a couple PBA, the celeb events, and so that's when I started. I know a couple pros and started doing more research, and you see this is this lane pattern, and you got to kind of throw like that, and so folks be having 9 different bowling balls. You know what I mean? No, you got to throw. I throw this. I got to change, and so that part of it, where it's a deeper game to it. It would take a while because, even sometimes in competition with the cameras too, because that's different than just bowling at the alley with your friends. it's different because even, you know, when they just got these lanes isolated and they got bleachers on the side and it's all this light and kind of it's a different energy around it with bowling than that. I said, this is not like being at the alley. So doing that, so you'll have guys that's pros that in certain situations and they'll roll a 150 or something like that, or 160. It doesn't mean they're not great. It just means that situation or that pattern and the lights and that whole scenario. So I could get solid, but we'll see. I do want to. I'll get in a tournament at some point just to kind of really bowl against great people. But even at the league, I substitute in this one league in LA sometimes. I travel too much to be on the team for real, but I'll sub in, and there be some people just cooking in the league, man. Just some real old guys just in there bowling, just 267s, just random. You know what I mean? And they're not pro. But they bowling 267 at the Glendale bowling alley, just cooking like that. Or even the guy that runs the pro shop he was bowling. He had a 299. Last roll was a 9, and he was bowling with his offhand. You know what I mean? He was like, I was just trying with my left, 299. Damn, and everybody's crowded around the lane. Oh, almost. So those guys aren't in the pro part. You know what I mean? So there's levels to it.
We're talking with Hannibal Buress. He's doing a pop-up show tonight. You can go to MadisonComedy.com to get the tickets. He's doing it at Comedy on State, so we're excited to have him in studio here. And your comedy career, you were talking a little bit off air. You started, just obviously college stuff. You've done arenas. You've been in movies. Like my kids know your voice from some of them, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff, the Secret Life of Pets, that stuff. Obviously, you've been in the complete opposite of that with the Eric Andre show. So do you ever take a moment and be like, wow, how did my career has really run the gambit of everything that someone in comedy could do?
Yeah, I look back at it. It's you can't experience it like other people do, or it's just I think a lot of sometimes it's fragmented what people know me from. It's some people that don't even know that I do stand up at all because they see me in a movie or something, and that movie had a crazy marketing budget or distribution, so that got to them, and they saw that and maybe some other movie stuff, and they don't even watch stand up live or anything. They just see me as a movie guy. So it's just cool to be in that different type of stuff, and a lot of it just it lives forever. You know what I mean? So people catch it at any you might find I have music that I listen to where it's an artist from the 70s. I'm just hearing it now, so people just find stuff at different times, and then it leads to so it's dope to just keep creating and stay active and do different things and challenge. I'm opening a venue now. That's my next thing. I'm opening a venue in Brooklyn. So that's actually why I'm on the road like this, because I keep getting invoices. I thought we'd be open by July, but turns out we gotta pay. This gig is going to lighting fixtures and sinks. I just got an email yesterday that I had to book a show. But I'm excited about it, man. Just to create space, because I've been performing in spaces since I was 19. So for most of my adult life, and so now to create a spot and build it and make sure the sound's right, make sure it's comfortable for artists and book it well, and excited about that because be able to be a part of people's journeys and work on something that's bigger than just what I'm doing and just also have my own spot to be at regularly. So it's nice to just stay active and be in demand for stuff. It's been a good time.
That's awesome. Do you have? Jim just said all of the different things that you've done. Do you have a favorite project that you've done?
Favorite project
besides your new venue?
Besides the new, favorite project that I've done, my music stuff is so I've been doing music. So I recorded music and I produce also. So working on that has been really fun. So I did a bunch of shows last year. I kind of slowed up this year because those shows are more expensive to produce, and they also pay less. So I had to get back to the stand-up. It's bare bones. Stand-up show has low overhead. The music show is band, sound guys, all this stuff. That was the first time I lost money on a show. was doing music gigs with, because it's, you know, you can do it scaled down, but I like to have a dope production and experience, so it's way more personnel for a music show. That's why it's been gigs where I say, whoa, that show was negative $6,000. This music shit sucks. It sucks. But that was fun because it just, you know, allowed people to see me in another way. And it's just a different skill in putting together a music show and figuring out, you know, the arrangement of songs and talking with musicians and rehearsing it, and, you know, it's more, you can enjoy the show while you're on stage when you're performing with a band, because stand up, you're on it though. It's just me up there, so I have to be on it the whole time. But music, you can kind of, you know, do your thing, and then you can take a break, you give solo. Hey, give it for the drummer, everybody. And the drummer can just go, oh, let me drink some water. Yeah, he killing it. Yeah, keep going. So it's nice to have those moments where you can just vibe out to the band, and you could be almost an audience member in your own thing when you're doing a music show with other folks on stage. So those have been really, really dope, and excited to keep growing with that.
When you're recognized, we're talking with Hannibal Buress, he's performing at Comedy on State, a pop-up show tonight. Mm-hmm. When people recognize you, what is their go-to? Like, what are you most recognized for?
Broad City. There's a lot. Broad City, Eric Andre show.
Yeah.
Are the main ones.
I got a lot of text messages when we told people we were having around. They said, was there a moment you truly were, like, genuinely uncomfortable in the Eric Andre show? Or a moment you were closest to it?
Uncomfortable? It's been a couple, man. It was one where we were kind of just spitting in each other's faces. I'm like, what are we doing, man? And it's been times where it's been people that I've been a fan of that we're being weird to, but I have to stay in character, right. And so there's it's tough to fully remove myself from it. And that, oh man, I've been listening to this person's music over and over in the car, and now we bothering them right now. But I have to just stay in the character and roll with it. So it's been time but a lot of it's just fun, and it's always, you know, I am disconnected from the post-production process. So it's kind of, we would just shoot a lot of stuff, and then the editors chop it up. So we'll shoot an interview for 40 minutes. They cut it down to a minute and a half. Rapper Warrior Ninja was really fun to shoot. That was a good time. There was one that got cut from the early season. I don't know why it got cut. I guess they didn't like it in the edit, but it was this guy from public access television that he would just be on a treadmill while making a smoothie or something, and it was just chaotic, and they said that didn't make it. I don't know why. I wasn't in the room why I didn't make it, but while we were doing it, it felt like something that was supposed to make it. I don't know, but it was a good time. It was a good time.
You also wrote on SNL for a little bit.
One season, yeah.
What was that like?
It was, so that was 2009. I moved to New York in 2008. I was 26. So that was my first regular job. I wasn't trying to get that job, you know. The year before, I actually submitted a packet or a video thing, but it was not good. And so I honestly thought what I submitted was possibly so bad that I would be banned from SNL forever. I said I shouldn't have sent that. I don't know. Well, that bridge, that's a burnt bridge. That's how I felt about that the year before. But I did a set on Late Night with Jimmy Fallon in 2009, and then people, I guess Seth Meyers and other folks at SNL saw the set, and they wanted to meet me, and I didn't know what they wanted to meet for. I'm thinking, what do they want to meet for? I didn't submit a packet. I just, you know, I didn't understand that process of how things. And so I almost wasn't going to take the meeting because I was in New York, but I had a Priceline.com flight back to Chicago where it was the name your own price and they give you whatever. Yeah. And those are not easily changeable flights, you know? Yeah. That's the thing. You can't change it. And so I said, I can't meet. I don't know what we meeting about. And I got a Priceline flight. I don't want to do it. My agent says, please meet him. Please, we can figure out the flight. I said, you sure, man? This Priceline stuff say no changes. I'm going to have to book a whole new ticket or something. I ain't got money like that. And so he convinced me to take the meeting. And so I take the meeting. And then it was just kind of, you know, I think he just wanted to make sure I wasn't a psycho and that he could deal with talking to me for 15 to 30 minutes without feeling terrible. And then he offered me the job to write. It was interesting working there just because you just kind of are dropped right into it. There's no orientation of here's how things go and here's what here's your office, here's it's a computer that you link to a database with all the episodes of SNL that's ever been made, so you can kind of use that to research what's been done, but it was no real thing. So it was it felt high pressure to be, you know what I mean? Because it was it got announced in the papers in Chicago, and as far as industry folks go, everybody knows who the SNL writers were. So it felt like a big deal, and but it was a great experience to see television get made, live television get made every week, and just see that process from beginning. I only got one sketch of my own. I contributed to others, but the only sketch of my own I got on was on a Charles Barkley episode.
Okay.
It was actually an idea my cousin pitched me. It was about Barkley's golf swing. What if he did his hitchy, terrible golf swing like everything else in life, and so was all these other activities. It was all right sketch. It could have been, we could have. It was all right, but I learned a lot just being in that environment, and just about pace, and just about production, and being able to take an idea from initial idea to execution and out. And of course you can have a lot of time to develop stuff if you want, but you can also, if you have an idea, you can get that out and shipped pretty fast if you really are motivated and on a deadline.
Before you go, I want to get your thoughts on the Bucks, but first, you're part of like the Marvel universe, which has got to be pretty unique. You talk about experiences. You're talking about writing for SNL. Like you're in the Spider-Man movies. I honestly feel like you're put in there for like almost like for me, like the dads who take their kids are like, I think that guy's funny, and that's like perfect, like a little bit subversive humor, and it's just there for like the adults. But how did you come across it? What was it like being a part of that sort of big budget sort of film?
It was the first one we did in Atlanta. Both of them filmed in Atlanta, actually. Both of them that I did were in Atlanta. It was wild. It was when you record and when you film it, you don't feel what it is, though.
Yeah.
You know what it is, but it doesn't, you're not in it like that, because you're not really, other people, it might be intense the whole time. For somebody like Kevin Feige that's producing and have to look at budget and how much are we spending. We had $100 million, or it's that person. But and then when it's out, you see how it's promoted. And we had the thing with the premiere where I couldn't make it to the premiere because I was filming Tag.
I saw this.
Yeah. And so that became a way bigger deal, I think, just because it was Spider-Man. I didn't do that thinking, this.
Yeah, so tell people what you did, because I was going to ask you if that was made up or if that was real, because I saw it pop up when I was looking you up, and I was like, is this kind of like an internet thing, or is it a real thing?
No, it was real. I was filming Tag. I was in Atlanta. I couldn't get to I was shooting the day of the premiere, and so I said, this is a Spider-Man premiere. I want to be part of it in some way, and so I said, let me try to get somebody else to go in my place. And so I put out a notice on Twitter, hey, anybody want to make $500, go to this, just be cool. Luckily, it was a stand-in. He had stood in for me on another shoot, so I could kind of vet that he wasn't crazy, because a random person might get into that environment and just ruin everything.
Yeah.
Because they never been on a set. But he was able to keep it cool, and so I told him all the info he needed and sent him all my the credentials and email they sent me, and then he went through and did an interview as me. But I didn't think it would, go as crazy as it went. But I think it's because of the level of the project. They showed up, Inside Edition showed up at his house or at his job. Hey, why wasn't Hannibal there? What was that? And why are they making such a big deal about me not going to the premiere? The whole movie is about a kid who is a superhero is acting like he's somebody else. Now, when I do it in real life as a side character, it's national news. But I think, it just shows sometimes doing something else is more effective than... Because if I just went there and I didn't think about it like this. I just did it. That just was the natural thought of how to handle the situation. I didn't do it as a marketing thing. But it just shows that, if you do the normal thing, if I went there and just did regular red carpet interviews, hey, it's good to be in the project and that, it would have just kind of gotten... I've done those interviews before at other carpets. They have 932 views on YouTube, you know, if you want to look at my tag interview. But but you do something else and it went differently. So it taught me a lot just about, you know, trying different ideas and as long as nobody's getting hurt or disrespected, then, you know, experimentation is important.
So we'll let you tap up before that you go. You're inner sports broadcaster here, and the Milwaukee Bucks. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the Bulls are far away. I follow them, but like they're far away from the Bucks. So from afar, you're an NBA guy. You said enough that you might go to France to watch them play. Mm-hmm. Do the Bucks have a shot at making the NBA Finals out of the East next year?
No.
Ouch.
No, but that's okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, 50 to 54 wins, solid. But yeah, it's not that. I think that time left with Drew.
Is that their fatal flaw?
I mean, the evidence is clear.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. How do you feel about player podcasts?
I like them, but I mean, it's fascinating to hear the perspective. I'm a fan. I watch a lot of clips of player podcasts. I like Jeff Teague's. Okay. Jeff Teague is really entertaining. I watch clips of a lot of them. Paul George is great. I watch Draymond. Some of his it's interesting just to hear, especially from people that's in it. It's cool to hear the current perspective. What's the Jalen and Jalen Brunson? That one is cool too. Even them breaking, you know, when they talking about somebody cooking them, and there was one clip with Tracy Morgan on there where Jalen brought up. He said, "Remember you got dunked on? remember you got dunked on, man?" And he said, "That's not him right there." Yeah, so it's cool to hear those insights about it, just because you always wonder what they were thinking, and so even to hear voice from you start realizing you didn't even realize you knew people's name. You might have played as them on a video game, but a lot of you didn't know what their voice sounded like until now. I didn't know what Jeff Teague sounded like until the past year. I knew who Jeff Teague was. I knew he was a solid player. I never knew.
Why would you know what he sounds like? Yeah.
But I played as him as a video game, but I never. It's certain people where you just don't know what they sound like. You just know their name, so it's cool. Oh, that's what that guy said. That's what his personality was. This is what he was thinking when that happened. Even if it's the 11th man on the bench, that perspective is almost more interesting because he gets to watch everything.
So to that point, we have Giannis's brother, Thanasis, has a podcast. Yes,
Thanasis. That's a great name.
You ever hear it? Have you listened to it?
I've seen some clips.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the analysis.
Rumor has it, so maybe we'll connect it. He's been desperately trying. He wants to have you on.
Yeah.
He knows you're a big NBA guy, so might have to set it up next time you're in Milwaukee. Because shout out to Milwaukee. I think he is also in France because, his brother is over there. So, we'll have to set that up sometime because he's got that podcast, and I know that he's a big fan of yours. So.
Yeah, I ran into them All-Star Weekend in 2020 in Chicago. I talked with them after one of the events or something. They were real nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Giannis, by all accounts, seems to be everything he portrays himself as. Yeah. Like, truly just the guy that was, fell in love with the idea of cheese curds because he never had that in Greece. So it's kind of one of those things where you kind of experience America with him as he was doing it as a 19-year-old to like a grown man now. So it's been really fun to watch him. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
You got a pop-up show coming up, Comedy on State. MadisonComedy.com is how you can get tickets. Hannibal Buress, thank you so much for coming to the studio.
Thank you.
Real
Appreciate
treat.
It. Thank you.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starry on Bank with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starry on Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience by going to starryonbank.com. Member FDIC.
With your Badger Minute, I'm Hunter Vaughn. Newly extended athletic director Chris McIntosh was at the Big Ten Football Media Days in Indianapolis last week, and he talked about the state of the football program in year 2 under head coach Luke Fickell.
I'm excited for our team this year to go out in Camp Randall and show what they've been working on, the progress that they've made against, some of the highest caliber teams in college football. That's an incredible opportunity.
Order today from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and pay as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Visit PellaWI.com.
For love of the game.
There's nothing like being selected to the Olympic team.
And love of their country.
Championship of that level, gold medal, means more.
Tune into Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Inside stories from Bucks stars on the agony and triumph of competing to win it all at the Olympics. It's Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes. To celebrate our love for dive bars, we are going to tell you about some of our favorites, featuring one extra special dive bar that will have $2 High Lifes on special for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin, like London Depot, the Nitty Gritty in Madison, the Dam Bar, and Dive In.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
I think people need to lower their expectations when it comes to the Chicago Bears. They had a masterful offseason. They really put Caleb Williams, their number 1 overall pick, and the person that has been given the assignment of savior for the Chicago Bears, they put him in a great position. I think it's going to take a while for them to really gel and figure it out.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekdays from 5 to 9 on 100.5 ESPN. Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. If you missed Hannibal Buress, it is available. Wisconsin On Demand, Apple, Spotify, any of those great places. And you can listen back. And it's brought to you by our good friends at Revive Restoration. RevivePros.com is the website. So Matt's talked about the remodel stuff that they've done for him, but mold remediation, fire damage, smoke damage, water damage, all those things Revive Restoration can help with for your business or your home. And again, Wisconsin On Demand, Apple, Spotify, and those great places. That's where you can hear Hannibal Buress. And not great thoughts on the Milwaukee Bucks, but we'll get back to that in a little bit. While he was on the trade deadline, has it officially passed?
It'll pass in 3 minutes. Well, actually, 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Garrett Crutchett will not be traded. So I know there was some ill-informed Brewer fans are like throwing out random trades, and like that one was not going to happen because he wanted to get paid immediately, and the Brewers don't like to pay people money, so that trade was definitely not going to happen. But as I've seen now, the Brewers have made no significant trade. They got a pitcher last night who has been pretty atrocious this year, but the hope is maybe he can somehow turn it around. What he didn't do with the Reds, he'll do with the Brewers. Is that kind of the
Well, he's about a 10-year veteran who has a career 4.5 ERA, so he's been better in the past. He's a little older, and honestly, it's not the greatest team behind him with the Reds. I think his ERA is maybe it might be a little higher, around like 4.8 range or something.
What I read about it is they basically needed a human being body with an arm.
That usually helps. That can
eat innings. That's essentially what he is, because last month they were throwing out, Dallas Keuchel and others, that like the idea with Frankie Montas is that he can pitch to like the 6th inning, and like
that'd be great.
That would be a huge win for them. Now he's 4-8 with an ERA at 5 in 19 starts. He only pitched once in 2023 with the Yankees because he had a shoulder injury. With the Oakland, he was a good pitcher. 2017 to 2022, 3.7 ERA over 6 seasons with Oakland. Then the Yankees, he was hurt, and then I think the Reds took a flyer on him, much like the Brewers did with Hoskins, and it didn't work out for the Reds. They're still able to get, fringe prospects, warm bodies back.
From the Brewers?
Yeah, the Brewers.
Well, they sent him Joey Weimer.
But he's not
a prospect. He was playing. He started.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
I said prospect or warm body. They sent over a backup pitcher. I would call Weimer is the warm body.
Jacob Junis was a significant reliever for the Brewers this year. He's pretty good. He's actually pretty good.
I was trying to be nice that the Brewers didn't give up to get crap.
Well, they didn't give up a ton. Jacob Junis is 31.
That's what I was getting
at. Frankie Montas is 31.
That's what I was getting at.
Jim, you weren't trying to be nice.
I
Let's
was.
be honest.
They were giving up crap to get crap, but they need this crap more than the crap that they gave up.
Man.
This is a reshuffling of crap that the Brewers did.
I can't wait to see what Jim's like when he's mean.
Judgmental Jim.
But that's what they did. But sometimes you just need to reshuffle your crap. The Brewers had an excess of outfielders, and maybe with Williams coming back, a little bit of excess of bullpen arms. They needed a arm that could give them 6 innings, even if it's a bad 6 innings. They hit. So, if you give up 4 runs over 6 innings, okay, hopefully we'll be able to get by that.
Yeah. And what did the Chicago Cubs do?
What does it have to do with...
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking about the NL Central.
They acquired an all-star third baseman.
What's his name?
It's from Tampa. It starts with a P. I just have... Look, I'm not doing a Cubs show.
I thought this was a Chicago/Wisconsin sports show.
But it's a Bears show. I'm not a big baseball guy, Cubs guy. But what I do know is the Brewers are cheap. They're always cheap. And now they have been able to allow themselves to finish the regular season strong and then flame out in the playoffs.
I am curious to see what this team is at this point because they have the 3rd best record in the NL, and they have by far the most consistent record since the All-Star break. The Dodgers, they just got Jack Flaherty, by the way.
The news just came through. So
that's a massive get for them. He's from the Detroit Tigers. He was the best pitcher on the market. The Brewers were never
the best team just got better.
The Brewers were never really in contention for him, but if you're the Brewers, you even said it yourself, Jim, did you want them to swing for the fences?
No, they shouldn't. They should. This is a cute, nice story for the Brewers. They cannot compete, in my opinion, with the Phillies or the Dodgers when it comes to the playoffs when you look at starting pitching. Because every other year when the Brewers had a legitimate chance, it was because of their starting pitching. And the guy they moved in Corbin Burns is the reason why they can't compete this year for a World Series. Can they be a nice... If they get to the postseason, which they will, and they win the division, and they lose in the playoffs, that's actually just a nice feel-good story. That's not a disappointment. That's a nice feel-good story. The Brewers overachieved their expectations. But they're not a legitimate team, so they should not have traded. And hopefully we don't find news that they did make some big trade to mortgage the future, because they need about 3 players at a minimum to truly compete, to put themselves in the category of being able to compete with the Dodgers and Phillies. Now, could they get to the NLCS and then lose to those teams? Possible. To lose one of those teams? That would be an amazing season for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Should we ask fans if they wish the Brewers had done more at the trade deadline?
Nah, because I don't really care.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Is that why we talked about this for the last 5 minutes?
It's the Brewers. It was the trade deadline. We got to give it a little bit of shine.
Daniel Landscaper says, Jim knows all too well about always shuffling crap, i.e. the Bears.
Okay, but it still doesn't make the Milwaukee Brewers better. They're a cute little story.
We never mentioned it. I thought we weren't talking about the Brewers anymore.
We're not. Look, you told me to fill 5 minutes. I fill 5 minutes for the trade deadline, and then you're all upset that I talk about the Milwaukee Brewers. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Hey, it's Kelly Sheffield, Wisconsin Badgers volleyball head coach. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Wisconsin Badgers volleyball on 100.5 ESPN. From the season opener August 27th to the NCAA tournament, catch every thrilling match all season long right here on 100.5 ESPN. And no breaking news for the Milwaukee Brewers as the MLB trade deadline just came and passed less than 5 minutes ago. Brewers not adding any more arms to their depleted bullpen or starting rotation, though they did add starting pitcher Frankie Montas from the division rival Reds yesterday. Brewers sent outfielder Joey Wiemer and reliever Jacob Junis to Cincinnati in exchange for Montas. Brewers also getting relief pitcher Nick Mears from the Rockies over the weekend. Brewers got a little bit of a replenishment in the bullpen after two-time All-Star Devin Williams returned Sunday after he'd been out all season with stress fractures in his back, though Brewers still have 10 pitchers on the injured list. One of those pitchers that just came off the list, Joe Ross, is going to be starting for the Brew Crew tonight after he came back from his back injury. It's Brewers' second of a three-game homestand against the Atlanta Braves. First pitch is tonight at 7:10 p.m. Jim, Matt, and Molly starting right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
You almost have to have a rhythm to it.
But I gotta.
What? We're learning a lot about each other.
Your bucket is filled with attention.
Yeah.
My bucket is filled with conflict.
Both of you are insane animals. Like, I would never want as much attention as you thrive on, and I would never want as much confrontation because confrontation makes me sweat. My hands are sweating thinking about it. I can't. You guys are weird.
That's the lifeblood. Like, what are we living for if we're not out here having conversations?
Not out here trying to prove others wrong.
But also, I don't take it personal.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
Jim, Matt, and Molly, we're getting closer to getting back on track, but it was worth it. We had Hannibal Buress in studio, the Everlight Solar Studio. We're presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush Coors Light.
And if you missed that interview, available Wisconsin On Demand, Apple, Spotify, any of those great places. Very fun to have Hannibal Buress in studio. And I saw a tweet earlier today from Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike. You can hear that here on ESPN Madison, weekday mornings. And he basically, and this is what he does really well, and we kind of danced around it yesterday, so maybe he was listening to the show. He's a regular guest on the show. That has kind of narrowed down the theory, which I've been speaking to for a long time. We kind of talked about it yesterday, which is basically the QBs that have won in the last 30 years, taking up 10% of their team's salary cap, include Brett Favre at 10.1% 28 years ago, and then Matthew Stafford, and then you have Patrick Mahomes with the highest ever at 17% last year, Tom Brady, and I think I'm maybe missing someone. But they're all Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. Only Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Peyton Manning, I think, was on that list.
Peyton Manning. So basically it's only Hall of Fame quarterbacks or rookie scale contract guys who are going to win you a Super Bowl. And that's basically what Evan Cohen put out there. There are two ways of winning a Super Bowl. Have a Hall of Fame quarterback, have a QB on a rookie scale deal. Now, instead of asking, like, do you think Jordan Love will be a Hall of Fame QB, that's obviously a big jump, no matter how good his 8 games were and how good his season was. It is funny, I talked to some Packer fans, and there's a lot of money for a guy who, over the course of the year, was, like, above average, but he was elite at the end. But if you looked at over the course of the year, you'd call him above average. He wasn't a Pro Bowl guy.
Has potential.
Wasn't an all-pro guy. Mm-hmm. He's getting paid like he's an MVP, and he has none of those those notches in his or any of those trophies up on his trophy shelf there. Now, I'm not saying, look, you are paying going forward, but this is one of the biggest leaps of faith in sports history, honestly. Paying Jordan Love the amount of guaranteed money he's getting is one of the biggest sports leaps in NFL history. It could look really bad and the Packers could fall on their face. I don't think that's what's going to happen. But I wanted to ask, it got me thinking, and I wanted to ask this question, 844-770-3776. I think the Packers' best chance to win a Super Bowl with Jordan Love as their quarterback is this season.
This season?
This season. Starting next year, he is 11.5% of their salary cap, and it only gets higher. And we just talked about it. And you cannot project or guarantee Hall of Fame level play from Jordan Love. And yes, this would be jumping the curve a little bit as far as the championship window for the Green Bay Packers. But health, this team is young. Mm-hmm. This team could surprise some people. And obviously, they need to catch some breaks. I mean, you would need injuries most likely, but throughout other teams in the league or random down years. But statistically speaking, this season right now is probably mathematically the Packers' best chance at winning a Super Bowl with Jordan Love.
But mathematically, you're only saying because of the percentage of the cap that's taken up by Jordan Love's
and
contract.
They won 9 games last year. They're projected, what's their over-under? 10.5, 11? What is it?
I believe it's around 9.5,
I thought
10.
it was 9.5.
Okay, so 9.5, 10 wins, so they're projected to be a playoff team. If Jordan Love plays how he played at the end of the year, you're getting a quarterback on a rookie scale. It's not a rookie deal, but it's essentially scaled similar. And so now you have that competitive advantage because immediately taking up over 10% factually means you have to be Hall of Fame level QB or you're not winning the Super Bowl. I'm not saying getting to the Super Bowl. Whew. I'm saying winning it. And I think this year,
even getting to it is incredibly difficult.
I agree, but I am saying this year might be the Packers' best chance. It doesn't mean it's their only chance. It doesn't mean it won't happen otherwise. But I actually think their best chance to win a Super Bowl is this year with Jordan Love as their starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers because he is essentially on a rookie scale deal, and that ends next year.
So maybe, okay, so in your mind it's the best chance, but is it the most practical for them to be able to win this year?
Super Bowls aren't about practicality. They're just about vibes and
it's
catching
about luck
the right...
and how good you are and all the things that go together. But
Jalen Hurts got to a Super Bowl on a rookie scale deal.
That's a lot.
He lost it. But unless he's a Hall of Fame quarterback in Jordan Love, which is a bigger leap of faith, right? It is a bigger leap of faith to say the Packers win the Super Bowl this year than saying that Jordan Love will be a Hall of Fame quarterback. Okay, it is more crazy to say that Jordan Love is a Hall of Fame quarterback than it is to say the Packers will win the Super Bowl this year.
Wait, didn't you just say the opposite?
I worded it wrong. But
okay,
I'm saying that it is crazier to say that Jordan Love will be a Hall of Fame quarterback than it is to say
because you're predicting 10 years of success, right? Rather than just one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. To even think. Honestly, I'm getting kind of hot and sweaty thinking about it. I know that sounds terrible, but I cannot, that is a lot of pressure to put on. I mean, it's an entire team, but to put on one person.
So Daniel Landscaper chimes in, didn't Russell Wilson win on his rookie deal? Yes. So either you have to win on your rookie deal or be a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Right.
Jordan Love technically is not on his rookie deal, but it is essentially a rookie scale deal. He is a bargain right now. So that's the thing. It's not impossible. And I'm not saying they won't ever get back or they won't ever win. But I'm saying statistically speaking, their best chance to win, based on all the evidence we have so far.
Based on history.
It is more likely to say that Jordan Love, the best chance for the Packers to win a Super Bowl with Jordan Love is this season because it is more insane to say that Jordan Love will be a Hall of Fame quarterback than it is to say the Green Bay Packers will win a Super Bowl this year.
I agree with you there because I don't think you can predict the future, especially because that's, like I just said, that's 10 years worth of successful play.
More than 10, realistically.
To be incredibly above average to get into the NFL Hall of Fame. That's crazy. It's just hard for me to think that they would go to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl this year, whereas if you tell me that next year I could see it a lot easier. This year, I'm happy if they make it to the NFC Championship.
It is weird. Starting next year, every year following is closing that. It makes that window a little bit tighter, a little bit more closed.
Well, yeah, it's tricky, too, because it's like the following year, you have Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs that need to sign deals, which I don't think are going to be insane, but who knows? And then beyond that, you have all the other guys that are wide receivers that are they all going to be on the team? Who's going to come and go? Who's going to get paid? Who's not going to get paid? There's so much that goes into it, but gosh, to say that this year is the year, that's a lot.
We can ask Jason Wilde that on the other side. If you are looking for a ring of your own, if you're looking for a watch, you're looking for jewelry for someone important in your life, go to Chalmers Jewelers in Madison or in Middleton. They are Madison's custom jeweler. They are Madison's family-owned and local jeweler. So go find the folks at Chalmers Jewelers and find the right piece of jewelry for you at Chalmers Jewelers, Madison's custom jeweler. We're going to be joined by Jason Wilde coming up next. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
Hey, it's John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. Come in and discover the high standards, classic traditions, honesty, integrity, and elegance when you walk through our doors. For over 90 years, customers have returned again and again to our warm boutique setting. Trust me, because I've been there for over 40 of them. Whether it's time to come back or your first time in, stop by Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street today. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard, aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Derek Jeter for American Family Insurance.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they'll help protect your family's dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, we have liftoff, or a budding prima ballerina, you can count on an American Family Insurance agent to help you dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get house.
The ESPN Madison Open, presented by Coors Light, is back. On Monday, August 5th, the ESPN Madison crew is packing their bags and teeing off at Bishop's Bay Country Club for a day on the links. The ESPN Madison Open is benefiting the Miracle League of Dane County and is brought to you by Bishop's Bay Country Club, The Tasting Room, Incredible Bank, Celebrations Entertainment, Hush Blackwell, Vortex Optics, and Zippo Lighters. Thank you for making a difference in our community.
For love of the game.
There's nothing like being selected to the Olympic team.
And love of their country.
Championship of that level, gold medal, means more.
Tune into Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Inside stories from Buck stars on the agony and triumph of competing to win it all at the Olympics. It's Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
My Aunt Bella was telling a story, and her speech was a bit slurred. Her smile was drooping. Was she having a stroke? I knew it was time to run through the B Fast checklist. B, balance. Bella was fine. E, eyes. Her vision was fine. F, face. Oh, the drooping. A, arms. She could lift both arms. S, speech. Oh, definitely slurred. T, terrible headache. She had one. Signs of a stroke. I called 911 and saved Aunt Bella's life.
Brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services Coverdell Stroke Program.
ESPN Madison is on Wisconsin sports. Catch up on anything you missed on the Varsity Podcast on Wisconsin On Demand. Brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Honda, shop local, part of the Madison community since 1973.
Matt Hamilton here to tell you about my friends at Revive Restoration. Nobody plans for accidents to happen, but when they do, you can count on Revive to be professional, efficient, and detail-oriented as they make things right again. Revive Restoration.
Hi, I'm Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock with Retirement Income Strategies. And what sets us apart is we're an independent, family-run office. We help clients like you understand the financial world and build a portfolio that's in your best interest. To learn more, go to MadisonMoneyGuy.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Good old Jason Waterfalls. Is that Jason Wilde's new nickname here, Ryan? Is that why you brought it out?
I'm not saying it's his nickname, but I'm saying this is Matt Hamilton's theme song for Jason. I thought it'd be perfect. We could have him come back every time with this. I'm sure he loves it too.
I will say, as we bring on Jason Wilde, that might have been like, I'll play little snippets, and that one was okay for the girls. When we did the misheard lyrics. Mm-hmm. And they absolutely loved Jason Waterfalls one. The I won't something about pizza oven now, I forget that was like, I won't burn your pizza in the oven instead of beast of burden.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And so like they sing those. I like Big Butts and a Can of Limes is also one that they enjoy. So Jason, not Jason Waterfalls, Jason Wilde joining the show. But look, we gave your colleague Jim Polzine the nickname Hollywood because he shared that with us. We couldn't have too many Jims on the show, so maybe Jason Waterfalls will be your nickname for Jim, Matt, and Molly. How you doing, Jason?
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, I'll try
so
it.
Wait a minute. So we're calling Jim Polzine Hollywood?
Yep.
So he shared this with us because it was weird when I took us to break and I referenced Jim and Molly got confused, thought I was talking to third person. We were having Jim Polzine join us. So we asked him, did he have a nickname when he was a kid? And apparently when he was younger, he went to California and came back with like a hat or a shirt that said Hollywood on it. And as like 9-year-old boys are, he never lived that down with his friends, and basically all the way through high school and all his friends from back in the day still once in a while referred to him as Hollywood because the shirt or hat said Hollywood on it.
Wow. I did not, I've known Jim 20 plus years. He was a young, talented reporter when I was slightly older but still young. He was coming up on the Cap Times side, and I've known him forever. I never knew that story. So now I got bad news for him. You guys are going to call me whatever the hell you want, but I'm going to start calling him Hollywood at every opportunity.
Fantastic.
Please do. Ryan, actually, he and I went to Badgers Media Day the other day, and he said, "What's up, Hollywood?" Just nonchalantly to Jim Polzine. I was like, all right, we're going with it.
That is amazing. Meanwhile, I'm still struggling with Wooly's nickname. I don't like Primetime because he doesn't have the bravado of like right like
that's why I do it. It's the juxtaposition. He is the complete opposite of Primetime, so it's an ironic nickname.
Thank you. That's such a good compliment, Jim. I really appreciate that.
What am I going to call you? Overnight Wallerstein.
Overnights?
Like Primetime is the spot that you want to be. Overnight is where you don't want to be.
Midnight.
There you go. Like,
no, thank you. That's your serial killer name.
I'm still. I don't understand how the sommelier didn't stick. Because it just doesn't roll off the tongue, I guess, and that's the problem. Because it just, with the Wollersheim winery and everything else, I really thought that had a chance, but apparently, you can't. It's just like George Costanza. You can't make up your own nickname. And apparently I can't make up nicknames that stick. So I'll just stay in my lane.
You know what, though? If the Wollersheim Winery wants to endorse Primetime, then he will happily
more than happy.
Go buy that. So, also, I don't know if Matt can use fancy words. So
yeah, I was going to say that might be a little bit too bougie for us, if I'm being honest.
I'm noticing that Matt's not there.
Yeah, he decided to take the Olympics off anyways, even though he's not going to be, even though he's a Winter Olympic athlete. In Unity, he decided, you know what, I won't work either.
Thought maybe he traveled to Paris with Jonathan Owens to to cheer on the Olympic gymnastics team, but apparently not.
They won gold in the team stuff. Actually, so real quick, I usually I'm like, I'm not getting involved in the Olympics. I've been caught up in the rugby team, the 7-on-7 women's rugby team. They just had a miraculous win of the bronze medal. And Jason, what sports? That's what I've just gotten into. And Alona Marr is just she's fantastic. I want to show all of her videos to my kids because she's got such great body positivity and she's an incredible athlete. But are there any sports? Gymnastics is probably an obvious one that you're kind of following along with that surprises you.
Yeah, so I'm still struggling with the time change. So like Paula and the girls watch the team competition for gymnastics today. I was at Packers practice because it started at like 11:15 while the radio show was still going. So I know they won. On all these other sports, though, like it really doesn't matter if it's live or taped because I don't know. It's training camp. It's the busiest time of the year for me, so I don't really know what the hell's going on. So if I'm, thanks for the spoiler on the women's sevens because I don't know if they were going to show that on one of the channels in prime time, and I'm not really upset about the spoiler.
I did get someone messaging me on our talk and text line saying spoilers. I said, in this day and age, I figured either you know or you don't.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, and I don't tune in for rugby coverage to Jim, Matt, and Molly, but maybe that's the place where I should turn.
Going forward, you should, yes.
Apparently, given your passion,
I gave play-by-play because we couldn't get the NBC rights for play-by-play. We couldn't play them, so I gave play-by-play like it was football. So I did the best I could because I think that's how people would understand the last play that got them the bronze medal, which is essentially returning a kick 99 yards for a touchdown. Yeah,
so that made that woman Devin Hester.
Yes, Bears Hall of Famer and NFL Hall of Famer.
Yeah. So we'll get to the Bears because the Bears open preseason play in like 2 days, don't they?
Yeah. Hall of Fame game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have been. I've been watching a lot. It's constantly on our TV. Like, if we just sort of leave the TV on various channels that are covering the Olympics. So I'm really big on the horse jumping.
Yes.
I really enjoy that. Big on fencing. I feel like we should maybe have like an ESPN Madison fencing team at some point. If we
Molly?
could.
No, this is weird. No.
What's weird?
It's just a bizarre sport. Like Jim was saying this because basically we were talking yesterday that we were wondering what is a sport that you think you could play.
Like if you started when you were like 10 or 11 and been like curling, like Matt. And
yes.
Been like, I could have done this. I'm not physically removed from competing in this because I'm not big and strong enough.
And Jim said we could do fencing.
Yeah, I picked
fencing.
And
I just said, meh. It's kind of just like poke, 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 poke. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it.
We'll give your sound effect to curling.
And then curling is sweep, 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 sweep.
There you go.
Oh, my God. You really have been an outstanding addition to this program.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Sound effects are amazing. All right. I'm sorry. I have been total like ADHD on this appearance. So was there anything you guys were actually planning on talking about?
You mentioned
I've
the
been really
Packers.
not very helpful.
Well, you mentioned the Packers, and Evan Cohen basically reiterated what we talked about a little bit yesterday on our show, and it really put it clearly that essentially in today's modern football, you have to either be a Hall of Fame QB to win a Super Bowl. And so over the last 30 years, there's been Brett Favre at 10.1%, Patrick Mahomes at the highest level at 17%, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. That's it as far as QBs who win a Super Bowl, taking up more than 10% of their team's salary cap. So essentially, you have to be a Hall of Fame QB or a QB on a rookie scale deal to win a Super Bowl. And so I wanted your thoughts on that. And then that kind of just took me, and I don't think it's crazy. This year might be the prime year for the Packers to win a Super Bowl with Jordan Love because he's essentially on a rookie scale deal.
Well, not only that, but to me, what makes it prime is that, and actually the next couple of years, but they've done something that's completely the opposite. They didn't get those years when the quarterback was on a rookie deal to make their hay because he was sitting behind Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's gotten something greater than a rookie deal, although, like you said, I think his cap number now for this year is projected to be only about $20 million, which is about the same as it would have been had he gotten the fifth-year option 2 years ago. But what I think is interesting is that they're so young everywhere else and have so many other guys on rookie contracts that they kind of are doing the and this is going to be an old person reference because nobody develops film anymore, but this is the negative image of that photo, right? Like, remember when Ryan Grigson complained as the GM of the Colts about how having Andrew Luck was such a burden, and that's why he couldn't put together a good offensive line in front of Luck because he had him on his big contract, which was embarrassing for him to say. But the bottom line is that now the Packers do have a quarterback that got paid bonko dollars, but everybody else is so cheap around them. And if they're good enough, this is a different formula that we haven't really seen before. So I'm eager to see if it works.
So I feel like we always hear about how, the Packers have done it again, right? The Packers have built this system the other teams should follow with the quarterbacks and sitting behind the Hall of Famer and all that. But with these negotiations that have gone on and seeing like what it's all come out with and kind of the delay of all of it, are the Packers almost in a crummy situation, especially going off of what Jim is asking about what the expectations for this team are in this next year?
I don't, it's an interesting question because, first of all, the expectations we can all agree are through the roof. In terms of, help me understand a little bit more clearly what you're asking.
So I kind of just thought of this question on the spot. So it needs to be workshopped a little. I'm not going to lie, but
that's the same as math.
But it's like you always, again, we always hear how the Packers have done it again. They're they have built this system the other team should follow with quarterbacks and having them sit behind them and all that. But then you hear Jim talk about the rookie scale deal. Well, that's never going to happen if they continue to do this. And then it's like they put, and then they're in a.
So don't stop saying me like the rest of the NFL.
No,
okay,
you too.
yeah.
But you were just bringing it up,
Yeah.
so I'm talking about it. But then it's like you have this with Jordan Love, where he had his first season as the starting quarterback in year 4, which is great in the sense of his development and learning the playbook and all the things that go with it. That he didn't have to necessarily struggle in the same way that rookie quarterbacks have had to do. The ones that have, quite frankly, come out of his own draft class, right? But then there's also, he's it's his 4th year, then his contract is up, so then you have to negotiate this. He really hasn't proven himself. Even if he had one whole season last year, even if he would have performed decent / well or done above average in all of the games last year rather than just 9, I mean, it's still like, did he prove himself enough to get paid what the market value is? Does that make sense?
Yeah. It does, but look, first of all, this is such a fallacy about the Packers system because this Packers system is only possible because they have had back-to-back Hall of Fame quarterbacks leading into Love. And I'm not being mean to Jim here, but if Aaron Rodgers was Mitchell Trubisky, they would have played Jordan Love sooner because their quarterback would have sucked.
Mm-hmm.
So this idea that, the Packers have it figured out, I can't believe that so many people fall into and I'm not saying you did, Molly, but all these national people that keep bringing up this narrative of, the Packers have it all figured out, have a guy wait in the wings and then let him develop on his own schedule. Yeah, you can only do that if you have a all-time great quarterback for him to sit behind. You can't do it any other way. Like, if another team, like say the Chargers, when they drafted Justin Herbert, let's say that they still had Phillip Rivers, but like prime Phillip Rivers, like with lots of good years still left in him, right? Because he was already retired by 2020, or he was gone. He was in Indy or wherever the hell he was, right?
Yeah, Justin Herbert had an incredible rookie season. Yep. So
right,
Phillip was
gone.
gone.
He played really well as a rookie, right? And so, first of all, that shoots a hole in the theory, right? Just like C.J. Stroud did last year. Like, it's not, like, impossible for guys to play right away and succeed if their coaches do a good job, if they're talented enough, if they're smart enough. So those guys shoot a hole in that theory. But, again, they didn't have Phillip Rivers so Justin Herbert could sit for a year or 2 or 3. They didn't. So you play him because that's what happened to Mitch Trubisky.
Mm-hmm.
I still wonder. I mean, I got nothing against Mitch. I use him as an example all the time. But he and Love are the two guys that, wonder what would have happened to Mitchell Trubisky if he could have sat as long as Jordan Love, because he was a 1-year starter at North Carolina. Love was a 2-year starter at Utah State, but it was Utah State, and he was terrible in his final season there when they got a new offensive coordinator and changed a bunch of players. Like, he wasn't very good statistically, and he threw like 21 touchdowns and 17 picks. So had Mitchell Trubisky had what Jordan Love had to come into behind a Hall of Famer, maybe his career has a completely different trajectory. And I'll tell you this, I love Jordan, and I'm happy for his success, and he deserves so much credit for working his ass off to become the player he is. But had he had to play right away, I mean, the FCC will not let me say what the Packers would have been had he had to play right. Like, if Rodgers, breaks his collarbone again, and they didn't even have him. Think of this. He wasn't even the backup as a rookie. He was the third stringer behind Tim Boyle, who has proven with the Jets and with the Lions that he's not an NFL quarterback. Really nice guy, but not an NFL starting quarterback. And so this idea that all these other teams, they should do what the Packers did. No, they can't. Right now, the teams that could do that, I mean, I don't know about Dak being a Hall of Famer, but as I look at what's playing out in Dallas, they are holding out hope that by snaring Trey Lance after he'd been put on the trading block and letting him sit through last season and this season, that they can say, we're not going to pay Dak, and now we've got a former 3rd overall pick who sat for 2 years, and we're hoping he can be like Jordan Love was in Green Bay. You have to have that excellent top flight or Hall of Fame quarterback to even attempt this. And there are so few teams that have it. It's just not realistic.
To piggyback off of that, I mean, you looked at Chicago they signed Mike Glennon and then drafted Mitch Trubisky. The Bears got Andy Dalton and then Justin Fields. And what happens is, and this is what I think is going to happen with Minnesota, maybe Sam Darnold will be better than people think, but you bring in a journeyman QB and you think, we'll start them. So then Justin Fields, his rookie season, was the 3rd-string quarterback because the Bears we're going to do this right. We're going to sit him behind Nick Foles and Andy Dalton. One got hurt. One was bad. They threw Justin Fields in. But you know what Justin Fields didn't do all of training camp and all of preseason was get snaps with the one or get a lot of snaps. So then he's not ready because he didn't have all the training camp stuff. That's why Chicago this time around and Houston with C.J. Stroud said, hey, from the beginning, you're the guy. Take every single snap we have available to you, and we're going to try to fast-track it. Because, to your point, Jason, it sometimes even gets worse if you try to throw a vet in there because the vet isn't any good. Fans get anxious. Coaches need to save their jobs, and they end up going to the rookie who then wasn't prepared over the last 3 months to get in there. So you just compound the problem.
No doubt. And I'm glad you brought up Mike Glennon because I got sidetracked as I was doing that. I was literally going to say, you can't do it with Mike Glennon.
Yeah.
Because that's the bottom line. And so, again, whether or not, for example, it doesn't make quite as much sense what Atlanta's doing, but what Atlanta is trying to do is bringing in Kirk Cousins and then treating him like the Aaron Rodgers in their equation and then having their first-round pick bide his time, right? And so, again, I don't think there's many teams that can do this. Could Pittsburgh theoretically do this while Fields hits the reset button? Not really, right? That's probably not realistic. I think the Jets were hoping that last year and this year, Zach Wilson could have sat behind Rodgers for 2 years, hit the reset button, was still super young, and then taken over in 2025, and having fixed his career, could be a really good player. But that obviously blew up on them too. So, yeah, it's fascinating. It's not going to happen for most teams, but at least in the Packers' case and in Jordan Love's case, it has.
Jason, awesome stuff from the Olympics to the Packers. We appreciate all the info.
Not sure it was awesome. It was definitely all over the map.
We were entertained.
All right, guys, take care. Big good.
All right, that's Jason Wilde. You can listen back Wisconsin on the Man, Apple, Spotify, and all those great places. Make sure to to follow, subscribe, to like us, give us a rating. Only if it's good, though. Otherwise, I don't want to hear any bad things.
5 stars only.
I like that. All right. You got a fantasy you want to tell us about?
Yes. Now is your chance to join the ESPN Wisconsin Fantasy Football League with Jim, Matt, and I. We will be out at Dave & Buster's in Wauwatosa on Thursday, August 1st. So callers, let's say...
Well, Packers' chances to win in 2025. Best chance with Jordan Love. Technically, Super Bowl's in 2025,
so
right?
2 and 5?
2 and 5.
Okay.
Callers 2 and 5.
Callers number 2 and 5. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Callers number 2 and 5. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Spit the bit?
I don't know.
That's a horse term.
Oh, okay.
What did you think it meant?
Talk to a pelican. I don't know.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Wow, Wayne, that is a beautiful window.
It sure is, Jeff. It really tackles energy efficiency.
Sure has a nice slide.
It's one of the best screenplays I've ever seen.
They're so easy to close. I'd say it's a grand slam.
If you guys keep making those dad jokes, you're going to be a real pain in my neck.
Oh, that's a good one. Did you hear about this one?
Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 7/31/2024.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
What is a better buying experience? Well, you're minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. To me, a better buying experience is a personal experience. You're going to have the experience that you're looking for at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. They're going to get you in the vehicle that you need and that you want. If you're in the market for a new or new to you Chevy Silverado or Colorado, I recommend Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes. To celebrate our love for dive bars, we are going to tell you about some of our favorites, featuring one extra special dive bar that will have $2 High Lifes on special for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin like London Depot, the Nitty Gritty in Madison, the Dam Bar, and Dive In.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-372-2017. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
I'd be a fearless leader. I'd be an alpha type. When everyone believes ya. What's that like? I'm so sick of running as fast as I can. Wondering if I'd get there quicker if I was a man. And I'm so sick of them coming at me.
So Matt
again.
decided he couldn't join us today, just once during the week. Is that what happened here?
I'll be honest, I didn't ask him to call into the show today.
Oh.
Well, he did send us a photo, incredibly sunburned.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I
You
haven't
should,
seen it yet.
you should ask if we could share that on social.
That would actually be very fun to share.
I guess he didn't share with me. Oh.
What? I swear it was in the text.
He just sent Molly a shirtless photo.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Yeah, he only sent it to me, actually.
Burnt
Sorry,
Matt
guys.
Hamilton. Burnt ham.
Is that the fantasy we've been talking about?
Cooked ham.
Wow. Jeez.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. And we're going to get to throwing stones in a minute here. But let me tell you about Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We're going to be out there, Molly Brown. I just was texting with our
so
good
excited.
friend Lee from Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. We're going to be out there on the 20th of August. So mark your calendar. Come hang out with us at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We're excited to be out there. We'll take part of the Sizzle, Swizzle, and Swirl happy hour out there. Gets maybe a steak sandwich, some calamari, some seared sashimi, some Coors Light. We'll have a good time. You can come out and hang out with us, have a good time as well over at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. But you don't have to wait till August 20th to do it. You can go out there and enjoy yourself whenever you want. All right, let's throw some stones.
1, 2, 3,
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
That was cooler than being cool. Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out.
I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
Yeah, guys, and we all know whether it's hot, warm, or just right, we all deserve to get out our takes of the day. Part of the reason I didn't ask Matt Hamilton to come on is because my clock management is bad enough already. We all need time to get out our takes, and honestly, we don't have much time to do it today.
Okay.
So each of you will get 45 seconds once again to get out what is your best take of the day. Well, I'll then judge who had the better take, and whoever wins gets the chill crown of the day. Matt's Pit Vipers. Probably could have used him because he's so sunburned out there. Now, Jim Rutledge.
Did you put him over his nipples?
Put him over. No, but I would just love the tan lines.
I mean, one?
Pit Viper tan lines say a lot about a person, don't they?
Do. They could tape them.
All right, Jim
He's
Rutledge.
got multiple pairs. You
True.
can see Matt duct taped Pit Vipers over his nipples out at the lake.
Yeah, sounds like something that one of his endorsers would give him. But yeah, 45 seconds. Jim Rutledge starts now.
Good on the Milwaukee Brewers for not spending any draft capital this year to try to make a flawed run at a World Series. They're not a World Series team. They're a team good enough to win the worst division in baseball, and I don't think they're going to win it by more than 3 or 4 games. The Cardinals will hang around. The Brewers will still hold on. I think this is a super cool, neat story, and I think they should embrace it. And I think if they had full-heartedly traded some real prospects to try to get a player to win this season, it would have been an epic disaster in the long term. So good on them understanding that this is a fun, neat story, but they're not a World Series team. They do not need to spend future capital to try to pursue a World Series this year.
I don't necessarily disagree with anything you said. I'll give you a point for that take. Though, I still feel like it's very underhanded, very passive-aggressive compliment to the Brewers, if you call it a compliment. I don't know, what would you say that was?
It's about knowing your, like, look, if you're
self-awareness?
Yeah, if you're like a 7, you can't be like chasing supermodels.
What are the
unless
Cubs?
You're super funny.
What are the Cubs?
Well, they're always
Scale
a 10.
1 to 10. Oh, they're 10?
Yeah, they just spend their money poorly, but at least they have money.
I've scored more than the Cubs have in the last 100 years.
Have you, though?
Twice.
Wait, do the Brewers have a World Series?
The Brewers don't.
No, okay,
No.
thank you.
Fair. All right.
But their owner does have a soccer team.
There we
right?
go. Let's go soccer. Molly Brown, 45 seconds, starts now.
So I actually just saw this poll. I didn't have a chance to listen to KBN today, but they said
You didn't miss anything.
basically Kyle had an experience by sitting next to a crying baby on an airplane, and he suggested that planes should have family sections. This would be amazing, actually. A family section where, like, okay, so I have traveled with my son. He was about 8 weeks old. He did great on the way there. On the way back, we were in the very back of the plane, and then we ended up sitting there for like 45 minutes, and I was just like dying to get off the plane. I started sweating. I was like close to on the verge of like meltdown, okay? Because I was just like, I do not want my kid to bother anybody. Family sections on a plane would be fantastic. Are you not in that boat?
Two things. One, planes would exploit. They would charge an arm and a leg to try to get that family section.
Okay,
if you
so
want
let's
to do
assume
that.
like they didn't, because yes,
But also,
they probably would.
and again, I have young kids and I understand it. Planes are not big. Planes are not soundproof. It is only in name only. It's like having a no smoking section
you're
in
going to
airplane.
hear the baby, even if you're in the back, but like the family section's in the front.
Yeah.
Like, but if they can figure it out logistically where people aren't necessarily bothered by it, which again, people are always going to be bothered by it, but like if there was something to make it more comfortable for families and like that you don't feel necessarily as bad.
I get what you're saying.
I don't know. There's something there. It's just, I don't know how logistical
I
it
think
is.
what you have to do is just understand that, like, hopefully nobody's an a-hole, and you just have to, like, I sat next to a crying baby. I don't have, my kids are older now. They don't cry in planes, but, like, I just felt bad for the mom. I'm like, this stinks. I'm going to put in my noise-canceling headphones, and I'll listen to music, and I don't have to deal with that. So I'm fine with it, because here's the other part of it. Air travel has regressed over the years. Like, go watch stuff. Like, safety-wise has gotten obviously much better. But go look at, like, what planes looked like. Like, the first class
Filled with
now.
smoke?
But the first class,
exactly.
but the first class seats now and the meals and, like, a standard plane ride was more luxurious and more of, like, a treat and more of a something fun to do. You're just getting on an Airbus. Like, you're literally just riding a bus in the air. It is just jam as
You're
many
cramped.
people. Yeah, jam as many people in there as possible. Make it as safe as you can, and send them hurling through the air. And you're gonna land and be happy to get off the plane. But there's nothing luxurious about it, and it's not meant to be. And so, to your point, it's just a bus. If you traveled on a plane, you're just taking a bus in the sky. Like, that's how you have to look at it.
Those international flights look fun. Like, I bet a lot of the people that went to Paris for the Olympics got to fly in those bougie seats where, like, you get the reclining and everything.
That's
I would
people
love
that
to
go
go on a
insane.
plane like that. But
Yeah. But, like, that, honestly, there's been, like, a lot of stuff about how air travel, as far as how you're treated as a passenger, has just regressed over the years in the interest of cutting cost.
Don't you think that's also because there's just more air travel, though, now, too? Like, back then, it was so exclusive back when it was, Pan Am, and it was, like, this super high prestige thing to be flying in a plane. Most people just couldn't because they were priced out. Nowadays, it's more available.
It's still pretty expensive, though.
it is expensive depending on where you go.
There's options that are not expensive. I think
Yeah.
the
You
flight
know what my
Kyle was
option is?
on
I
was
have
not
family in
expensive.
Arizona. My option is to go there during July because flights are about $50 there and back. But I don't want to go to Arizona when it's 120 degrees out, so my only times to go are when they're freaking $500 one way for one person. It's insane.
Well, and the other part of it is, like, to your point, I wish there was a little bit more of, like, yeah, there's the Spirits and all the others.
Yeah, they're there.
I've never flown on that.
I will not fly.
Really?
I've never even like looked at flights.
Even
from
an
there.
American? Come on. We all fly in that.
Oh, I thought you were asking me like American Airlines. I was like, I'll take that over Spirit.
Yes.
I will never fly Spirit.
You end up paying like a ton because you're adding on all the bags and everything,
Yes,
whatever
and I
else
will
you have
not
to do.
fly-
They charge you for everything.
Yeah.
JetBlue, I have to be talking to, and this is not about them specifically. It's just that I am already a nervous flyer. I don't need to be flying on the Walmart version of an airplane. Like, I give me the Target plane, please. Thank you.
Target plane.
Like, I don't need the Walmart plane.
Take away
Or
the connotation of the chains there.
Honestly,
Target plane?
The dollar store. There's a dollar store one, which is Sprint or Spirit, and then whatever the hell the JetBlue is, if that's Walmart. Like, I want Macy's then, if you want to take away
Macy's.
the name. Like, I want.
He wants the Nordstrom.
I want to feel like the pilots didn't just roll out of flight school and just fired up the old 57 jet
Well, my
as
thing
it
with, like-
rattles its way down to Arizona.
All right.
I don't know about like the actual plane. My thing with the Spirit stuff is like it's literally like you're like claustrophobic in it.
Yes.
That's what freaks me out about it.
It's
I don't
fair.
know about like the actual plane and everything.
I just
I'm not
imagine
a-
Spirit's like riding, like it's actually
There's
just on
duct tape on the windows.
and it's like actually on a roller coaster. Like it's just, it doesn't actually fly.
You know-
it just goes up in the sky and then it's like a ride.
You know why it's called Spirit? It's because you got to pray to the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit anytime you get on those things.
But and it's probably unfair. It's just I'm a nervous flyer. I can't handle that. I'm not flying on the.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Fair.
The budget flight. I just won't go.
You know what?
I'll walk. I'll drive.
On this
I'll
one,
I'll take a train.
on this one, I'll give it to Fancy Man Jim Ullage.
Oh.
Honestly,
Put on the pit vipers.
it's a close one. You guys went back and forth in this one. It was a real 12-round knockout. by Jim Rutledge. Finally got Molly Brown at the end. The Nordstrom of plane travel. Macy's. I mean, Jim pulled out all his tricks. Old man references, everything. I had to give it to him.
I appreciate that. Yeah, maybe Coles can have one. You can get flights with Coles Cash. That would be pretty sweet. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Ryan is absolutely right. I am savage.
We're learning a lot about each other. This is good to know. This is good stuff to know.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
With the incredibly spacious 3-row Chevy Traverse, you can change
"Let's just meet at the concert"
into
"Why don't I pick all you guys up on the way?"
The advanced safety engineered Chevy Blazer EV lets you turn "You think we should turn back?" into
full steam ahead.
And with the affordable Equinox EV,
keep an eye out for the next Charger, kids.
Becomes
get comfortable, kids. We'll be home in 4 hours.
For summer adventures, Chevy's got you. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Forward Madison FC's professional soccer season is underway, and they want you to pack out Breeze Stevens Field. Need a night out with the whole family? Try the Forward Madison Family Special presented by MG&E. Score a ticket to the match, a meal, and an FMFC scarf, all for just $25 per person. Visit forwardmadisonfc.com to purchase your tickets today. That's forwardmadisonfc.com. Forward Madison, fun for all.
Dog, I can't remember a game that was this good. Yeah, you know what else would be great right now? Some food from the Great Dane. I know, but we can't go right now.
Good news! The Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company is available on DoorDash and Uber Eats. Stay in the game with the full menu delivered from the Great Dane closest to you. Downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison. Order today with DoorDash and Uber Eats or on thegreatdanepub.com. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's original brew pub since 1994.
The host might be irrelevant, but the conversations aren't.
People really believe the Packers could be a Super Bowl contender in 2024. They could be a team competing for a Super Bowl in 2024.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe, presented by Door County Distillery.
While I have high expectations as a fan, I don't know if I'd go that far.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe, live on ESPN Madison's YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and available wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty, and integrity that kept them coming back time and again. Keep their history and our history alive. Shop Goodman's Jewelers today in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. We're online at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
Hi everyone, Molly Brown from ESPN Madison here. As the weather warms up, nothing sounds better than enjoying my favorite Southwestern food on the patio at Pasquale's Cantina. Enjoy great food like their burrito bowl, enchiladas, or blue corn tacos with one of their signature margaritas at either of their locations in Verona or Middleton today. Want to enjoy Pasquale's with your family on your own patio? Check out their menu and order their take-home meal kits for $4 online at pasqualescantina.com.
Bringing the flavors of the Southwest to the Midwest. Pasquale's Cantina.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Ain't shady, baby, I'm hot like the prodigal son.
Go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Over 500 winners and over $1.2 million won last weekend alone at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. That's where winners go. Get into the show, 844-770-3776. I guess I'm not the only one who hates flying. Daniel the Landscaper chimes in. I hate flying. I have flown only 2 times in my life. Wow. And one time when I was younger, we had really bad turbulence. Then flew for a honeymoon. I took a bunch of Ambien and then liquor. Don't remember the fly. Basically, hasn't flown since. I would say that, yeah, and I do understand. He's the type of person that if he's going to die, he wants it to be at his fault, not at the hands of the pilot. There's that part of it. I've gotten over that. It has to do with more of like, what a horrible way to die. Like, you just know you're going down.
Oh, being like scared and panicking. Oh, yeah, that'd be awful.
But I also have come to just, here's the tip I'll give to anyone that's worked for me. if you are flying nervous like me, is, I'll tell you tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. One, it's a thing for kids, but you can remember it as an adult. Your thoughts aren't magic. So you don't have to mentally keep the plane afloat or in the air by trying to constantly worrying about something bad happening.
That's wild that people have that.
It's definitely a thing that I had. Deep breaths, your little... bring a totem. Like, I have a little thing my wife gave me for anniversary that I'll kind of rub between my fingers if I get nervous. And so those things to divert your focus, and you do all right. This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes. To celebrate our love for dive bars, we are going to tell you about some of our favorites.